It's 2 in the morning. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is moving. And yet your mind is still running, as if something, somewhere, hasn't been solved yet. One thought circles back, then another, and another, and none of them ever really leave. It's just an engine that refuses to switch off, even though the road ahead is completely empty. And the strange part is, this isn't rare. This is happening right now, inside millions of minds that look perfectly calm from the outside. What if that engine wasn't a flaw? What if what you call overthinking was actually the trace of a mechanism far older, far smarter, and far more revealing than you realize? What you're about to discover won't just explain why your mind never stops. It might also change the way you see yourself. This pattern has a name, and it's been studied for years, in labs, through brain scans, through thousands of stories that all sound strangely identical, which raises a question you probably haven't asked yourself before. If this happens to that many people, why does it still feel like something only you go through? And what strikes scientists isn't how rare it is, it's how consistent it is. A brain that can't switch off isn't malfunctioning. It's operating, in fact, with almost unsettling precision. So then, what is a mechanism meant to help you supposed to do if it ends up exhausting you instead? To understand, you have to look past the thought itself. You have to look at what it's actually trying to do. The human brain hates one thing more than anything else: uncertainty. Faced with the unknown, it doesn't just wait. It activates an ancient system originally built for a single mission: to spot danger before it arrives. And that system doesn't always know how to tell the difference between a real threat and a simple unanswered question. So it stays on. It scans. It analyzes. It runs through every possible scenario, just in case one of them turns out to be real. So it isn't your willpower that's failing. It's a security system left running in the background that refuses to believe everything is actually fine. But a system doesn't set itself like this on its own. It learns. And to understand this setting, you have to go back much further than your last sleepless night. Picture a child who never knows which version of a parent is coming home, the calm one or the one to tiptoe around. That child learns something fast. If I can't stop what's coming, I can at least try to see it coming first. It's logical, it's protective, and it works so well that the brain keeps using it. Long after the danger is gone, long after the child has grown up entirely. This wasn't a weakness. It was an adaptation, shaped by a very real need for safety. But adaptations are supposed to expire once the danger does. So why didn't this one? That answer takes a strange turn, because it involves something your brain does to you almost every single day. And you've probably never noticed it. A mind trained to anticipate can, over time, confuse two very different things: thinking about a problem and actually solving it. You've probably felt that strange sensation before, spending hours turning a situation over in every direction, only to realize, once you've calmed down, that nothing has really moved. You didn't find an answer. You just went in circles with a very convincing feeling of progress. This is what researchers call the illusion of mental progress. And it's not just a perception error. It's a chemical mechanism. Every time your brain runs through a thought, even an imagined one, even a scenario that will never happen, it releases a small hit of dopamine, not for solving anything, just for the act of thinking itself, which means your brain is quietly rewarding you for a problem it never actually fixes. That's the part almost no one tells you. You were never lacking willpower. You were reacting to a loop your own chemistry keeps feeding. And if a mechanism this powerful exists inside you, it must say something about who you are. That's exactly what one study, published in a leading psychology journal, set out to verify. Researchers compared people who ruminate heavily to those who rarely do, and the result probably doesn't go the way you'd expect. And here's the twist almost no one expects. The heaviest overthinkers didn't just score higher on stress. They scored dramatically higher on something else entirely. The ability to sense what another person feels, often before that person says a single word. Read that again. The very same circuit that keeps you replaying a conversation at 2 a.m. is the one that let you notice, hours earlier, that your friend's smile didn't quite reach their eyes. So it isn't a burden on one side and a gift on the other. It's the same force wearing two faces. And this might be the most important part of everything you've just heard. Because if this sensitivity and this exhaustion come from the same source, then the goal was never to shut this part of you down. The goal was always to teach it something else. Not to stop, but to finally feel safe. Some therapeutic approaches don't try to fight the thought at all. They just change one sentence in your head. Instead of, "This is dangerous, I have to solve it right now," you learn to say simply, "My mind is generating a worry." Nothing about the thought changes. Everything about your relationship to it does. It's 2 a.m. The house is still silent. But this time, something has changed. That engine that refused to switch off was never broken. It was never an enemy to silence. It simply spent an entire lifetime trying to protect you, using the only tools it had when it first learned them. It doesn't need to learn to think less. It needs to learn that it's finally allowed to rest. And maybe that's the real shift. Not silencing the mind, but finally convincing it the danger passed a long time ago. So the next time it's 2 a.m. and one more thought starts circling, try not to fight it. Just notice it, name it, and see how quickly a mind that only ever wanted to protect you starts, for once, to believe it's safe to stop. If this helped you see your own mind a little differently, staying a little longer with the next one might do the same.